And we will be talking about those rumours of Antonio Conte going to Tottenham Hotspur. We'll start with you, Jules. Any new developments since yesterday on this news?
Well, talks have continued today, Kay, between Daniel Levy, Antonio Conte, his agent, everybody involved, and they're progressing well. I think they're getting closer to finding an agreement on the length of the contract, the wages, the staff, etc. All the details that you have to sort out before announcing a manager. But it looks that it's getting closer and closer now for Antonio Conte to become the new Tottenham manager.
We're just going to flag up something that the man at the top, Daniel Levy, did say last month in the search for a manager. He said, we need to select someone whose values reflect those of our great club and return to playing football with the style for which we are known, free-flowing, attacking and entertaining, whilst continuing to embrace our desire to see young players flourish from our academy alongside experienced talent. Craig, it would be great to get your thoughts on whether you think Conte is the right fit here for a club like Spurs.
I think this is a marriage made in hell. I really do. And I tell you why. Not because Antonio Conte's not a very, very good coach, because he is, but he is one of the most demanding, impatient managers in European football at the moment. He's successful, but he kicks and screams, and he has public outbursts, and he is super high maintenance. And when he doesn't think that he's getting what he wants, then it's a boxing match. I mean, probably even more so than Jose Mourinho. So unless Spurs are going to do a full 360 and start becoming this big spending Tottenham, I don't see how this marriage, if it happens, is going to last, because, you know, that squad needs an overhaul if it's going to compete with the real big boys in England, never mind Europe. And that's going to take a lot of money. On top of that, you've got the Harry Kane scenario. So I really, I mean, I can understand Tottenham going for him, but I don't understand from Conte's perspective what he thinks he's going to get once he gets his feet in the door if he signs as manager. Because I just see frustration after frustration after frustration. And I don't know what the boys think, but I just don't see this working.
Well, Frank's nodding away. Why are you nodding, Frank?
Because, I mean, the choice of Conte simply doesn't match with Mr. Levy's comments. He wants to use the academy to make that club better, where, remember why Conte wanted to leave Inter Milan? Because he didn't have the money to buy players. He likes to buy players, talented players, experienced players, and he doesn't give a stuff about young players in the academy. It's not his thought. His thought is to win the Premier League if he signed for Tottenham, or maybe the Champions League after if they qualify. He doesn't care about a long-term project. He wants big money. He wants big players, which is not the case for Tottenham. They don't have the money. Kane wants to leave. So if Kane stays, how are they going to get the money to buy other players? It makes simply no sense whatsoever to go for Conte, for Spurs.
Shaka, can you see any reason why Antonio Conte would want to take the Spurs job?
Well, because he's out of a job right now, and Spurs are a big club and have, or you would think, have money to spend. But I'm with Frank and Craig on this. When this rumour first kind of erupted, my opinion was Antonio Conte is the perfect manager for Spurs. You just don't see it happening. He's exactly what Spurs want in terms of his winning mentality, that kind of aggressive pursuit of it, is what Spurs have been lacking for so long. But just in terms of Daniel Levy himself and how he seems to align or prefer managers who sing from the same kind of team hymn sheet and don't really challenge him that much, Antonio Conte is not that. He will call Levy out if he feels that he isn't supported. At the same time, Conte is not, to Levy's statement, he is not the manager who brings young players through. He will spend a lot in pursuit of winning. And the teams that he put together, while very winning teams, are counter-attacking teams. And if you're talking about Spurs traditionally, as good as Spurs have been on the counter-attack, I don't think anybody describes Spurs as purely a counter-attacking team. So just in terms of your own kind of footballing philosophy, again, it doesn't line up with Daniel Levy, his statement, or who Antonio Conte has shown himself to be. While I say that kind of mentality is exactly what Spurs want, this very well may be a marriage made in hell, as Craig put it.
If Conte does go there, Jules, does that mean that Harry Kane's sticking around?
I think that would be the first job that Conte has to do, is try to convince him to stay. We've heard Conte in the past saying how Kane was the best striker in the world and that he would love to work with him. Well, this could be his chance. And if he can find the word of keeping him, then I think that would be already a big win for Conte and for Spurs, because right now Kane wants out, and only, as we've said before on the show, only a new manager finding the right words can keep him at the club, maybe for 1 season, maybe 2 seasons, maybe just to see what happens in the next 12 months, for example. But certainly I think this is a squad that Conte can improve. He can improve them individually, he can improve them collectively as well. They can play the 3-5-2 formation that is currently his favourite, like he played at Inter, for example. He can make them very solid. He likes to take underdogs. When he got to Chelsea, they finished 10th under Mourinho the season before. They won the league the year after. Look where he took Italy to the Euros. They were no one expected them to do as well as they did, but he took that team, created a team spirit. They were very solid. They put them exactly like he wanted them to be, at his image, and then they were successful. So I think he can work with them, but I agree with the boys. It still looks that it doesn't make much sense though.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.